We left off last time with the ability to save our drawings. They went into a file. We were able to look at the contents of the file, and it looked okay. Seemed like everything that we needed to be there was there, but we don't know for certain because we can't load it back in. So now we need to write the code so that we can load it back in. So we have an open item, and we just have to make it so that the action does the right thing. As with our save, we probably need to have a chooser, and we're going to have to make sure that they chose a file. We'll call this open drawing, and I will change this so it is the open dialog here. Okay, so they're given a dialog, asked what file they want to open, and now just as down here we had the choice, it could end in XML or it could end in something else, and if it ended in something else we wanted to basically do the binary serialization. We'll do that here. So if file dot get name dot ends with .xml, then we want to do the XML code, else we're going to do the code that we're going to write. Currently we don't have the XML stuff. We'll come back and we'll add that. So if it is this, and actually for both of these, because there's going to be some stuff that happens the same after we get a drawing, so how about we make this into an expression and say val drawing equals, so it'll load in our drawing and give us something. Okay. So what do we need to do here? Well, we need to use an object input stream, and I can use our loan pattern code again. Loan pattern dot with object input stream. The file name is file dot, I'm going to get absolute path so that we have everything and it can't accidentally give me the wrong thing. And then our body here is an object input stream, goes to something. So what do we want to do? Well, I want to load in, so I'm going to do read object, because there should only be one object in here. Now, I guess actually I do have one little problem here that for right now I'm going to make this null so the type inference works nicely. But now I have type object. Well, we've dealt with this before. Read object returns an object. After all, I could have pointed this to any file. Who knows if it has a drawing in it? However, I only want to do stuff with it if it does have a drawing in it. So we'll do a case for drawing, in which case I want to give back D. A case for anything else, we should probably do something where we're going to throw up an alert. So let's see. In order to open an alert, the alert does not use the companion object. We're going to say new alert, and we get to give it a type which is from alert type dot, all we're going to tell them is an informative message. And there are kind of three things that we need to set inside of here. So one is the title, one is a header text, and one is a content text. So I'm going to say bad contents for the file. Header text will be load failed, and the content text will be contents of, or file did not contain a drawing. How about that? File did not contain a drawing. Okay, and then we can show that and have it just sit here and wait. Now, once again, this is going to mess up our type inference because, where are we doing this? All the way back up here. Yeah, serializable with object. That's not quite what I wanted. I can make this so it returns a null. It makes me feel a little bit unhappy. I could also throw an exception, but I don't really want to throw an exception here. So I'm going to go with the null option, and what's going to wind up happening is that down here we're going to have a check. If the drawing is not equal to null, then we're going to do whatever stuff it is that we wanted to do. Okay, so if it did read a drawing, we should have it there. And that's it. And we'd be done, except that we need to throw it into our GUI. So when we create a new drawing, new item, we have this Make Drawing tab. And in fact, we have kind of those 3 lines of code, which might be kind of helpful to do here. This is not new drawing. This is just the drawing that we loaded in. This does not have to be untitled. This can now be file.getName. And we add in our drawing and the tree that was added to the tab into our drawings, and we add that onto our tab. Well, let's see how close that is to working. So we had already saved this off in drawing.bin. So I'm going to do that, and well, the values are there. The only thing that didn't happen was it didn't refresh the drawing. Okay, well, that's not too hard to do. We can, in fact, I'm almost surprised that Make Drawing tab wasn't doing that for me. It sets the GC, but it doesn't actually cause it to draw. Okay, well, not a problem. Drawing.draw. Run it again, just to verify. File, open, drawing.bin. We click on it. There's our drawing. It has the properties of the things that we had changed, so it clearly loaded it in. That is not the default rectangle that we get if we just put in a rectangle. So it looks like our reading is good. Of course, we would have to test this with a drawing that includes all of our drawable types. So everything that we have, which right now is just a maze, a rectangle, text, and the transform. We've tested the transform and the rectangle. We haven't tested the transform very well. There's a lot more testing that could go on here to make sure that everything saves off and loads back in, but I'm not going to do that in a video. What we need to do in our video now is switch to XML and figure out how we could do the same type of functionality, how we can fill in the code that we have here for, in fact, this would be a good place to put it to do there, and we also have down inside of our save to do there. Okay, so 2 little markers that will help us to remember that we need to make some changes in there. Okay, that's what we're going to work on in our following videos.